What is that? Pretty sure there is a Swiffer brush. There's something in there. My title here is a service tech, so my job is typically to fix stuff. Today we kind of have a little bit of a mix of everything, so you guys are going to get to see what maintenance looks like, we're going to get to see what repair looks like, and I believe we're actually going to be installing a humidifier this afternoon, so you guys will get to see kind of what the other side of that looks like as well. Just showed up to our first call. We really only need basic tools for this, so we're just going to use our one bag. If we do need anything else, we'll go ahead and come outside for it. But as of right now, we're going to keep this really simple. Have you guys ever had a tune-up done before?
No.
Okay. So basically what a tune-up looks like is we really kind of lean into that preventative aspect. So when we look at your equipment, we're actually trying to check everything to make sure we're going to avoid future breakdowns. So the furnace hasn't shut itself off normally like they would, but it is cool enough that we're not going to burn our fingertips working. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start taking the furnace apart. So we're going to pull this air filter out. This guy looks like it's been in here for quite a while. So we're going to keep that out for a few minutes. So we're going to take the blower motor out because it does look like there's something kind of lodged in the motor side of it. What you're seeing here, obviously ignore the giant duster here for a second. This is a little oil leaking out of the casing. So when you see these, what looks like wet marks kind of down the side, you have sealed bearings on these motors. So once the bearings are breached, you run the risk of the component starting to fail because it'll run hotter, kind of like a car without oil in it. Ultimately, it's going to get to a point where it overheats, it'll start grinding, and then ultimately it's not going to run anymore. This guy is called the capacitor. It's kind of like your battery in your car. Basically, it regulates the charge and supplies a charge to your blower motor so that when we kick the furnace on, this kind of helps it start. So this is called a multimeter. This capacitor is rated at 10. So when we're actually looking at our lead here, we want to see, let's zero it out. We want to see it at the 10 mark. So 8.16, the tolerance on these is 6%. So the lowest we would want to see is 9.4. So for this thing to be at 8.16 out of 10, that means it is out of tolerance. That's also a potential issue. So the furnace is short cycling. Basically it's overheating, shutting off, overheating, shutting off. At this point, I mean, there's kind of a multitude of factors that are causing this to happen. Unfortunately, it's really hard to determine exactly where it's coming from, but what we can say is we know what's creating the issue that's happening right now. So for now, we're gonna go ahead and tidy things up, close everything up, and go upstairs. We'll sit down with our client and kind of go over some options with her as far as how we can fix it, and how we can address the problems. Well, Sarah, take care. Thank you for your time. And if you guys have any questions in the meantime, give us a call, okay?
Hello?
Hi, Amanda?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Kyle with Perfect Home Services. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I was calling to see if you were available for us to head over for the humidifier install.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, we're here.
Hey, Amanda, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Hey, we're just going to be in the garage pretty much today anyways. Do you mind popping the door open and we can kind of just go through that way? So we're going to mount the humidifier right here on the side of the furnace. So we're going to go ahead and cut this out. This is going to give us enough room to mount the furnace up, get it nice and secure so nothing's flexing or moving. We're going to get right up above the coil, and that should give us plenty of room to make sure it's installed properly. It's just like cutting hair. If you cut it too much off, you can't put it back on. So 3 minor adjustments along the way. go. There we go. So now our control is connected to the valve here. So when we turn the humidifier on, it'll open this valve. Once we connect the water line to the humidifier or the water heater, it'll allow that water into the unit. So that is there. Now the other wires we have to hook up are going to go from this control into the furnace. So we're going to hook up to the hot side of the water. We want to make sure that we are getting warm water going into the system. What we don't want to happen is we don't want our water lines to freeze, or our water to freeze as it's going into the humidifier, especially because this part of the house is at the back of their garage. So if we do it here, we run the risk of the line freezing. So we got the valve on, everything's tight, water line's tight, water valve is open. Water should be up and right at the bottom of this, right at the bottom of the solenoid. So once we actually turn the furnace on, make sure everything's running, then we'll know that we're good to go. Before we go any further, I have to hook up my drain line so that the excess water has a place to go. Otherwise, we're just going to be filling up this room, and we don't want to do that. Okay, that is on there. There's our line. All right. So I can take this, hook it back up. Oops. Hook it up all the way. They're seated. They are. All right. Let's turn our furnace on. All right, guys. So everything's installed, the furnace is now on. We're gonna go ahead and flip the humidistat, which is the control for the humidifier, over to our test setting. Once you kick it over to test, fan motor of the humidifier kicks on, and shortly we should see our water start draining out through here. Fan motor's back here, that's what's plugged into the wall. So if we pull it off, you can see the blades moving, that's it. Water panel back here. This gets changed once a year. We're going to do that in the springtime going forward. This won't run unless the door is completely seated. If you look up top here, you have two little hooks, right? This has to be square up top around these, and you'll know because it'll kind of be able to pivot. When you go to close it, it's going to be a nice audible click. You want that. We just finished up. We're gonna go ahead and clean up all our tools, get everything packed in, and we're done for the day. We're gonna go home and enjoy our weekend.